A very good evening to one and all. Dear participants, resource person of Narayani Teacher Training Center. Today we all have gathered over here as to discuss, as to learn, and as to once again recapitulate few strategies of classroom management. And the resource person for today's topic is Mrs. Ashwini Srinivasan from Bangalore. So let me hand over the things to you, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all present here. A warm welcome to all the participants and all the teachers. Yes, here is a slide. What does an ideal classroom look like, sound like, and feel like? Can anyone come forward with your answers? What does an ideal classroom look like, sound like, and feel like?
You people can unmute yourself, come forward and give the answers. Someone?
Noisy class. Okay. Any other answers, ma'am? Both teachers and students are happy, where learning is fun. Sound like?
Very good evening, ma'am. Can I answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, an ideal classroom, it looks like it should be safe, should be supportive enough for the students so that we can encourage the students to reach their full potential.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your answer. Yes. Anyone else want to share your ideas? Okay. An ideal classroom look like designed to foster learning, creativity, and a positive environment for both students and teachers. And it sounds like supports learning, focus, and positive interaction between teachers and students. And it feels like welcoming, inclusive, and stimulating. Next slide, sir. Agenda of today's session: classroom management, importance of classroom management, key elements of classroom management, principles of classroom management, 5 P's of classroom management, steps for setting up classroom management, and classroom management tips. And other than these topics, what is your expectation in today's session?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Can I speak? This is Manjula.
Okay.
Ma'am, our expectation is in a classroom, we will have a few students of slow learners, very slow learners.
Okay.
So can you give some tips how to manage with the regular students, and how can we help in the classroom for those children in the same period, same subject?
Yes, ma'am, sure. At the end, we'll discuss about that.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. This is what we expect, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ground rules of the session. Camera should be turned on. Everyone should participate. Everyone's idea is important. Listen to the person talking and respond to the chat box. Next slide, sir. What is classroom management? Can any teachers or any person answer what is classroom management according to you?
Managing all the students, diverse students in a classroom, ma'am.
Okay. Any other point?
Ma'am, managing is like, how to maintain discipline in the class, telling ground rules and preparing for the lesson. Writing lesson plan beforehand and planning activities for all the classes and the remedial steps to be taken for those who are not. So all these things and furnitures, taking care of furnitures, alignment, everything, the board work. So everything comes under the classroom management, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you for your answer, ma'am. Yes, here, next slide, sir. Classroom management is ways of organizing the resources, pupils, and helpers so that the teaching and the learning can process in an efficient and safe manner. That is, the goal of a successful management plan is to maintain a safe and fun classroom that can focus on learning. Classroom management is the combination of tools and practices that provide structure and promote positive learning space for students. Next slide, sir. Why is classroom management important? Can anyone tell me why is classroom management so important? Why we are concentrating more on that?
It will be well organized. It will be easy to deliver.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is a very disciplined way of teaching, ma'am.
So that
To
our learning
tackle all kind of children, all types of
our learning
Ma'am, can we answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Classroom management is very important so that it can help to create a very positive learning environment for the students, and it can improve the students' academic success with the help of fun learning methods.
Great answer, ma'am. Thank you. Next slide. So here, let us discuss the exact thing of classroom management. Few points. Satisfaction and enjoyment in teaching are dependent upon leading students to cooperate. Here, this point is like teachers can teach more effectively when satisfaction and enjoyment is there, and even they can enjoy their work. A well-managed classroom feels safe and respectful for all the students in the classroom. Next point, the second point is classroom management issues are of highest concern for beginning teachers. That is, most of the freshers find difficulty in managing the classrooms. Here, they can set the rules or expectations to encourage the students to behave well. Students can concentrate on lesson without distractions when the clear rules and expectations are set to the students. Here, 4 key elements of classroom management. Here, we have an activity like a Pictionary game. On seeing the picture, you are going to guess like which is the key element of classroom management here. The first picture. Can anyone say what does this picture resembles?
an active, interactive child.
Okay, correct. Rules and regulation. Raise your
Rules
hand.
and regulations set by the teacher before the class begins.
Yes. Okay. This rules.
Happy child.
Great. Yes, ma'am.
Happy child. Happy child.
Yes. So this rules and regulations and all comes under accountability of a classroom management. Here, accountability in classroom management means ensuring that both teachers and students take responsibility for their actions. For teachers, it involves consistently enforcing rules and creating a positive learning environment. That is, the class should not be bored. We are going to set some rules as well as it is going to be a fun learning class. And for students, it means understanding and following the rules, completing their work and behaving respectfully. This helps create a structured and fair classroom where everyone can learn effectively. That is setting rules and regulations, and both teacher and student is going to follow that. Next. Here comes the next picture. Can anyone guess what is this picture?
Learning by doing.
Learning by doing. Okay.
Or art integration, we can take it as.
Okay.
Helping each other, ma'am.
Okay. Helping each other.
Peer
Okay.
teaching,
As
Setup of
we-
classroom.
Yes,
Setup
Manjuna,
of
ma'am.
classroom.
Setup of classroom. Okay, as you teachers answered, like art integration, helping each other, this and all, where it takes place?
Classroom.
Yeah, it is classroom environment. Thank you for your answers, teachers. The environment in classroom management refers to the physical and emotional atmosphere that a teacher creates to support learning. This includes the layout of the classroom, the availability of resources, and the overall ambience. It promotes positive behavior, minimizes disruption, and ensures that students feel safe, respected, and engaged in their studies. So when a classroom environment is set in a fair way, there will not be more disruptions. Even students will listen to the teachers. They will enjoy learning. Next picture, sir. Yes. Can you guess which picture is this?
Something group discussion.
Okay, group discussion.
Setting the goal by giving the clear instructions to the students.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, here this represents people in the classroom. That is, people in classroom management include teacher, students, and some support staff like a teaching assistant or counselors. Teachers play a crucial role by setting expectations, enforcing rules, and creating a supportive learning environment. Students are responsible for following the rules, participating actively, and respecting others. Support staff can assist by providing additional help and resources. So these people are there in the classroom. So each one's role is important in the classroom environment. Next slide. Can anyone guess what is this?
Time management.
Yes, ma'am, you are right. Wonderful. This is time. How you will manage time, or how it will work in the class?
Yes, it will work in the class if the teacher is fully pre-planned.
prepared.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. What Aarti ma'am said is right. So time management in the classroom is crucial for maximizing learning and ensuring a smooth, productive day. Next. And successful classroom management plan require time and patience, reminders and reinforcement to work their magic. Here are 5 P's of classroom management. The first one is prepare. How would you fabricate your class? That is, how would you prepare your class previously?
With the help of a proper lesson planning.
Yes, sir. Great.
First, you have to see what topic you are going to teach, how you are going to teach, what kind of material you need as a teaching aids for the students, and how you are going to engage the students in that hands-on activity, and what
Proper
will be the
planning.
observation after that, and what is the learning outcome.
Yes, ma'am. You are exactly right. Any other answers, ma'am? Teachers? Yes, here prepare all necessary materials ahead of time. Arrange the classroom to facilitate learning and minimize disruption. Have backups for technology and other resources. Here I have a question like, when you lost the backup, how you will manage the class there? For example, you have taken to a AV room. There you lost the backup or power. How you will manage the classroom?
always we should have plan B also. If plan A fails, we have to opt with a plan B actually. So related to the subject, we can go ahead with the hands-on activity like that we can manage at the time.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Like Akila ma'am said, when some power cut or like some backup is failed, we teachers should know how to manage the situation in the same environment. We are going to take the class without that backup technology. Next is patience. How we are going to be patient in the classroom? How does it works?
Planning well for the class.
Is planning well for the class.
Taking class in an interesting way.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to the kids also. We have to listen to them.
Okay, listening to the kids. Patiently what each and every child is saying is right, ma'am.
Involving the kids also in the classroom.
Yes, making each child to talk in the class. Yes, here patience is a crucial aspect of effective classroom management. It helps create a supportive and conducive learning environment. Here, patience is more important in the classroom because it builds trust, reduces stress, encourages positive behavior, and improves problem solving. How? For example, one child will be very dull or will be alone always. We teachers should patiently handle that student also. We have to concentrate on that student and we have to ask what is her personal problem. When we are so patient to that child, even she will not be left alone or ignored. She will be involved in the class. Next is productive. How will you make your class productive?
By hands-on activities.
Okay, correct, sir.
By telling the
By
values
including the
related to
children
that
in the-
lesson.
Yeah, by telling the values related to the lessons. Wonderful,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
we can use flip teaching also.
Yes, ma'am, right.
Through quizzes. We can do quiz
Using
also.
instructional aids, various instructional aids.
By using the real life objects.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, your answers are correct. Thanks for your participation or answers. Here, being productive in classroom management is key to ensuring that both teaching and learning process are efficient and effective. It involves creating a structured environment, establishing clear expectation, engaging students actively, and effectively addressing any disruptions on conflicts that arise. For example, now tell me one child is keep talking in your class, how you will manage that child? How you are going to handle that situation in the class?
First of all, you have to see what is the problem in the class with the child.
Yes, ma'am.
After finding out the problem, you need to see what kind of solution you can give to the student. But here you have not to solve the problem. You have to give the direction to the student so that he or she can solve it himself or herself.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you for your answer. Here, productive means even we have to be friendly with the children, students. We have to concentrate on them, concentrate on each and every child. Next, polite. How we are going to be polite in the classroom?
It's a little difficult for the female teachers because
Have
female
control
teachers
over our
are
emotions.
impatient.
Yes, ma'am. One by one, please. Yes,
Control over
Aarti, ma'am.
our emotions.
Okay. Okay, here it is a way to maintain effective classroom interaction. It is essential for creating a respectful and productive learning environment. Next one, prompt. Prompt in classroom management involves being timely and efficient in addressing tasks, transitions, and behaviors to maintain a smooth and productive learning environment. Prompt in the sense, even we teachers should be move to the classes on time. We have to be prompt and perfect so that we can expect the perfectness from students. Next slide, sir. Here, what does this picture says or shows? Two pictures are there. What is the first picture? Can anyone guess?
In one class,
Student
teacher is not there, and the other class teacher is present.
Student oriented.
So when the
Okay,
teacher
ma'am.
does not come on time, so that when the
Great
teacher does
answer.
not come on time, the students will make a loud noise and disturb the other classes.
Okay.
One is well-disciplined class, another one is unruly class.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
You are right.
can I
Here-
answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I answer, ma'am? Ma'am, in first class, when as I assume it, when the bell rings, the teacher is not on the time. So the students are creating indiscipline. And in the second picture, the teacher is, she is on the time and there is a discipline in the class.
Yes, ma'am. You're right. Yes, when we follow all these 5 rules, instead of the first picture, we can expect the classroom to be in the second picture. Next slide, sir. Here are few steps, that is 8 steps for setting up a classroom management. The first is set classroom expectations. What is your classroom expectation when you enter your class? Involvement of both. Yes, ma'am, correct. Okay, here the set classroom expectation, they recommend involving your students in classroom management because it helps build a community as well as the classroom culture. Second point, consider school policies when drafting a classroom management plan. How you will consider your school policies and how you will design your classroom management plan, my dear teachers?
Ma'am, sorry, can you repeat, please?
Yes, ma'am. Here, consider school policies when drafting a classroom management plan. That is, according to your organization rules and policies, how you will design your classroom management plan. Each school and each organization will have so and so rules. So according to your organization policies and rules, how you will manage your class? What is your plan?
Ma'am, first of all, as a class teacher, I always plan before the class what I have to teach. Then I introduce my plan in the class. Then I refer what I have planned according to the managed things. And at the end of the class, I distribute the rewards also to the students.
Okay, ma'am. Great answer. Here, considering school policies when drafting a classroom management plan, here we have to set our own rules also when we are going to that particular period or class. So be sure that you are adhering to school-wide discipline procedures while building a classroom management plan that also reflect your own principles, rules, and philosophy. The third point is establish clear and consistent boundaries in your class. How will you make the students to be quiet when you enter the class or when you begin the lesson?
Ma'am,
I
I
would always love to enter into the class with the very funny way so that I can grab the attention of all the students. If they are just talking to their friends, I would love to grab the attention of them. Like for example, if I have to teach something very new, so I would love to I would love to be a joker in the class because they will be learning in a very fun way method.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly, you're right. Someone was
Ma'am,
saying something.
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have
Yes, ma'am.
tried one strategy recently that
Yes, ma'am.
like yesterday's lessons recapitulation will be will be done by students for today's introduction, but in the form of comparing and like welcoming me. The child will be standing there before I go to the class. As soon as I enter, they will welcome, as like Manjula ma'am has come today. Yesterday she has taught so and so, and today let us all wait and see what she's going to explain, like that. And they will, in behalf of everyone, we welcome you, ma'am. She will tell like that, the one child. So my
Okay.
introduction will be done by the student. So each child will be getting everyday chances. So that child will be ready to welcome me. At the same time, another child will do the vote of thanks by telling all the points of today's points. Like a recapitulation of today's class also will be done in the form of vote of thanks by another child. So the child will be alert. So I think the children are so excited, and with the flowers and all, they were welcoming me from 2-3 days. I
Wonderful
used this
idea, ma'am. It's
strategy.
really a wonderful idea. Which subject do you handle, ma'am?
Ma'am, Kannada.
Okay, ma'am. Here, for languages, we can go like how Manjula ma'am is doing. If it is a maths class or science class, we can ask them to recite the formulas before we enter the class, so that they will be into the subject before we teachers come to the class. So plan according to
Yes.
that. It will work. Here, a
Yes,
most
ma'am.
important.
1 minute.
Yes.
Excuse me. I used to make them recite states and capitals as I am a social studies before I
Okay,
enter.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Great.
Even
A
poems
most.
can be recited, ma'am.
Yes,
The
ma'am. For
poems,
languages,
if we go late.
they can
Yes.
recite poem. For science or maths, they can say formulas. And for maths, they can say tables. As Srilata ma'am said, for social, they can go with mapping, or they can say the state names or country names and their capitals. In that way, before we enter the class, set some rules so that they will be involved into the subject before we enter the classroom.
Yes, ma'am. Another, as a class teacher, I will be telling any other subject. If it is a social, the last notes, no, the one leader will come and read the notes, and everyone will be repeating after the leader, so that
Yes, ma'am.
everyone
That
will
is
be in the
also a good
same page.
idea. Yes. A most important one here is to insist that students stop talking before you begin, and while you are teaching something that may require patience, as we discussed previously. Next point is use verbal and non-verbal reinforcement. How we will manage this one? Use verbal and non-verbal reinforcement. Okay, here smiling, nodding, or showing thumbs up to the children, or shaking your head, or frowning to silently signal to a student to keep quiet. One who is talking at the back bench, one who is talking in between. We are not going to react with our eye signal or with our action only. They should keep quiet. Next point.
Ma'am, them sign language, which they can understand. Now they have to stop and listen to the teacher.
Yes, ma'am. We can use that also. Yes.
And
Next.
ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
And sometimes we teachers need to set up a tone to the children, and
Yes.
by teachers, the way how we react, the children should understand that. Maybe by face reaction, or the children should understand my teacher is like, if I do like this, my teacher will not be happy, like that. The child should understand. So like that, we
Okay.
need to set up a tone to the kids.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Now, next, our fifth point is hand out a planned syllabus to your class. So here, how we are going to hand out a planned syllabus? Doing so will save you and your students a lot of headaches, because a syllabus plan establishes expectations from day one and prepares your student on what to learn. At the same time, it allows students to inform schedule. So when we plan the syllabus and when we are going to tomorrow, I'm going to give notes for this so and so lesson. So be ready with your classwork. In that way, we are going to give handout plan for the students previously, so that there will not be any disruption, or I didn't bring the notebook, I didn't bring the textbook, like that some negative things will not be there. Next, know the students in whole class. How you are going to learn about the students in the whole class. You are not going to neglect one child also in the class. How you will do this? Eye contact, gesture, body language.
Firstly, we should know the name of all the students, madam.
Yes, sir, you are right. Exactly, you are right. Question and answer. Any other answers, teachers? Yes. Here, getting to know your students can bring perspective that helps you to manage their behavior, while also conveying that you are easy to talk to. For example, some students may have some personal issues. So be kind and give your own counseling to that child individually, not in front of other children. You are going to call that particular child to the staff room or to some place individually, and you are going to counsel that child with your ideas and with your patience. The next one is teach.
Ma'am, add something. Ma'am, in our institution, we as soon as the teacher enters, because the children, they come with a baggage from their homes. Each individual comes a different scenario. They are having some tensions or stresses. We tell them how is the Josh. If everybody is fine, there's no health issues or any stresses or anything, they put 5 fingers. If there are 3 fingers or 4 fingers, we come to know that the child is little upset, then we can speak to the child, so it doesn't affect his studies.
Yeah, great idea, ma'am. It's really wonderful idea. Yes. The next point, teach engaging content to encourage positive behavior. Here, this is one of the most effective classroom management strategies. It is to present curriculum, topics, and activities that get your student engaged with your lessons. How you will engage your students in a positive way? Teach engaging content to encourage positive behavior. How we will do this one? Any ideas, teachers?
A lot of interactive classes, ma'am. In between,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
allowing,
you're right.
allowing children to talk to us. I mean, repeating whatever, asking questions in between.
Either, yes.
Interactive.
Yes, ma'am. What you said is right. Either the answer which they are going to say is going to be right or wrong. We should allow the student to talk there. Afterwards, we can judge whether it is a wrong opinion or it is correct one. Next, decide on consequences. Positive action recommends looking for ways to use positive strategies to increase students' competence, and when negative consequences are needed. Be sure to implement measures that are safe for students and respect their dignity and basic rights. For example, one child will not at all write the classwork, or they will not do the work given properly. How you will react, or how you will handle that particular child?
First of all, we'll tell the children to tell the truth. What happened? Why the child has not written, and we will only tell some few situations. If anybody relatives have come to home, so that is the reason. If they have not written the homework, it is okay. Tell the truth. Then we will give 1 or 2 days to complete that one. With respectfully, we'll make them. If the children are purposely lazy and not doing, then we have to counsel the child and allow the child to do and complete it.
Okay. Any other ideas, teachers? So here, when that particular child has some problem or is not doing the things, we are not supposed to scold or beat the child. Beating is not allowed, but we are not We are not going to behave in a harsh manner with the child. Instead, in a polite way, first 2 days, let us give some time. Let us talk to the child personally, and with a positive affection and something, let us make the child to do the work given. Next slide, sir. Okay. Can you people tell me what is your classroom management style? Instead of these points and the steps, what is your classroom management style in your class or in your periods? I want the teachers to participate. Please come forward with your answers.
Consists of all
Yes.
these, everything,
Yes, ma'am.
not only one monotony way.
Okay.
Ma'am, as I told before only, the children will be like, introduction and this one will be there.
Yes, out of
And I'll be
thanks.
carrying and I'll be taking my lesson plans to the class, and activities will be pre-planned, whatever we have to do. And most of the time in the languages, any personalities has to be dressed up. The child, I will be telling 2 or 3 children to dress up like that. So I will be managing the classroom like that, and telling the ground rules to maintain discipline in the class. All those ground rules, because every day we are telling that they are used to that, my class. So ground rules,
Okay.
no need to tell repeatedly. So somehow the class I am managing like that, ma'am.
Okay. I think the session is going to end in 1 minute. So please, teachers, join with the same link when the session ends. Sir,
Yeah,
previous
and there are
slide,
a
sir.
few more announcements, important announcements at the end of the session. So as to not miss it, it would be better that you join the link once again. It will be for more 10 or 15 minutes. That's it.
Yes, I want few more answers from other teachers also. What is your classroom management style? I want the
Yeah,
teachers to
actually, yes, ma'am. Actually, I used to start up the class with a warm-up activity so that we'll just get the attention of the student. Then around 20 to 25 minutes, I'll just teach the content. So after that, like a recap session. In between, we will have some attention grabber.